there, Flex Barbie here, your host of the Flex Pretty podcast. And today's episode is so special to me. And you're going to see why, because I have got my girl, Christina Henry. I met her as an Adderley. She's been a Henry now for 4 years, so I can't say now she is like she just turned one. But that's just how long I've known her, you know. So I got my girl, Christina Henry, here with me. We're going to get into the history of how I know Christina and why she is so special to me. I always tell her I need to duplicate her and keep a version of her here, but she's actually visiting Nassau right now while we film, and it's so great to have you, Christina.
It's amazing being here. Like, this is phenomenal for me. Like, just being in this space. This is something that I knew was in your wheelhouse. Like, you're just amazing. So I'm not even surprised that it's something that I'm sitting at doing. For sure. This is you. This is all you. Like, this is the part of the Flex Barbie empire. She's an empire, guys. Like an empire. Empire. Sorry. She's an empire.
Thank you, Christina. But thank you for being here. Thank you for taking time out of your vacation to come hang with me. We've been talking, y'all, for like a couple hours now. Some of that stuff should have been on the podcast too, but we're going to dive in. So some of it again.
Like, I am not a short one for words. I got all the words. I'm not short on words.
So for those who don't know you, Christina, and before I give my context, tell us about who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Christina Henry. Christina Adderley. But I'm married to a wonderful man named Louis Henry. So whatever regards I'm taking.
Christina Henry, okay?
Yeah, we're going to say Christina Henry.
To keep the house happy.
Yeah, I love my dad, but Christina Henry is where I'm at. I am a fitness professional. I own a studio in Toronto. We are based on PT and group training. I am a fitness enthusiast. I am totally engulfed and obsessed with wellness and just making sure that us as a whole, as a people, understand the importance of taking care of our bodies and moving our bodies to improve our quality of life. Like, that's where I'm at. Like, that's my life's mission. And I am in love with the fact that my job allows me to see that through. Yeah.
I love that.
That's me. That's me in a nutshell.
Awesome, Christina. So for context, y'all, I met Christina in 2019. Mm-hmm. We met in 2019. Christina came to Nassau. I had just moved to Nassau, I want to say 2 years. I was in Nassau for 2 years at that point. Mm-hmm. Kind of finding my way in the fitness space. And Christina reached out. Well, a client at the time, a newer client at the time, was like, hey, I have a friend coming to Nassau. She wants to get in the space.
The stars were aligned, I promise
Can she meet with you? Will you meet with her? And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, let's meet. Let's set it up. Christina came. And from the moment she walked in my office door, I was like, yeah, like, she can work with me.
It's like we instant
clicked,
it was an instant click. Like, it was an interview without like being like, I felt like I knew you.
You were catching up.
For like, it literally felt like we were catching up. Like, I left there and I was like, yeah, no, like, that's my friend from time. Like, it didn't feel like a chore. It didn't feel like, it just felt like a natural exchange of people who, it was like people who just had like similar mindsets. Like, you let me know a little bit about your fitness background. I tell the story all the time because I was so lost at the time because I had just like abruptly moved from Canada. Yeah. I was so afraid of being in Nassau that I like ran away to New York for 6-7 weeks just to like figure out
what you were going to do next.
In the world am I going to like survive? Because before I came to Nassau, like when I understood Nassau was a place where you get pregnant and you work at hotels. Like those are your only two options. Like in my mind, like I think that it was important for me to come back because it really changed my perspective of what it is to be in Nassau and live in Nassau. And I think that had I not moved here, I wouldn't be where I am today. I was devastated that it was something that was happening, but it was important. It was an important pivot for my life. It's always hindsight. That's 2020. Yeah, like looking back at it, it was definitely something that was meant to happen. But in that office, I tell that all the time. Like I came, like I was in New York with one of my friends, and she was like, "Well, what is it that would you like to do?" Because I thought that I was gonna come home work in an office until I could kind of find my way back to where I really wanted to be. And I was in Nordstrom, and I was like in this outfit that was a pantsuit, and I just had a breakdown. I was like, it didn't look like me. I was cute. But it just didn't look like me.
Good,
it didn't feel like this is who I felt like I was kind of like selling myself short. It felt like I was stuck. Yeah. And we had like a kind of come to what are you going to do with your life now moment? And I was like, well, what is it that I can do while I'm at home? Well, Camille's like, what do you want to do? Like, what is it that you want to do, Christina? And no one, like, I thought that when you come home, like, the only things that are like respected or will actually get you somewhere, it's like lawyer, teacher, doctor, accountant. Like, that's the trajectory that you need to be. Yeah. Like, that's a trajectory that you need to be on. I was like, well, I mean, like, I love fitness. Like, I would love, I had been training a couple of people on the side, like, not for anything important. I hadn't had any certification, but that time I was very, very interested in a person. Like, it had engulfed my life to the point where, like, if I wasn't working, I was doing something in the fitness realm, training, thinking about training, watching a video about training somebody. Like, it had engulfed me, and it wasn't making me any money at that point. It was just a labor of love. Yeah, I just loved to do it. And I was like, I want to be, I think that I'd be happy being a trainer. I really think that. And she's like, well, why don't you do that? And I was like, can I? Yeah, I can do that. I can absolutely be a trainer. Like, I'm going to a new country. Like, I'm going to start over. And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Girl, you ain't know nobody in that. Like, I left Nassau, like, in 2008. I was a year and a half out of school. I went to the same school for 12 years. I went to the same church. Like, I wasn't very, like, well-rounded. I didn't have a great pool or network to step into. I know nothing about the fitness industry in the Bahamas. Like, nada. Like, I couldn't even name one gym in the Bahamas at that point in time. Like, not one. And I was just like, I'm going to do this. Like, there's, like, she like instilled in me. I think that we needed each other at that time. I helped her through some stuff. But she instilled, like, you can absolutely do, like, you're confident, like, you know your stuff. Like, I just think that you need to try. I was like, yeah, no, I'm going to try. So that's when, like, no, I don't know anybody yet. Like, I don't know anybody yet. So anybody, I put the feelers out. Does anybody know anybody in the fitness industry? My friend, she was still living there at the time. And she's like, yeah, I know this girl. Like, you could probably, like,
she had
talk
just
to
started,
her.
maybe
Yeah, like, she already spoke about you in such high regard. She's like, you can probably talk to her. Like, she can give you some insight. I wasn't looking for a job. I just wanted to know, some like, guidance, where could I start at step one? And, like, when I started, like, you were just so open. Like, you answered me almost instantaneously. Yeah, girl, you can about tomorrow. I'll be there tomorrow. Like, whenever you're ready, blah, 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 blah. Like, sure. I'm so excited to, like, meet this person. So we go. I'm a little nervous, but I sit down and instantly, like, from the first exchange, like, it was just like, this is an old friend. Like, you told me about your background. I told you about my background. That was a Tuesday. I can tell you this.
Really?
Yeah, it was a Tuesday. Oh, no, it was a Wednesday. And I came back and I took class. And then you were like, this back. And I was like, she liked my back, y'all. She liked my back. Like, I really working in this class. I took her group class. And she's like, are you down to train? Like, do you want to teach a class tomorrow? And I was like, yeah, ain't no problem. Okay, I'll tell you now, I never teach a class in my life until that day. That was the first class that I've ever taught. I went home and I planned it out, man, I thought about, like, the way that you organize your class. I Googled group training. Like, I was nervous, but at the same time, I was like, nah, I'm gonna do this. Like, this is what I want to do. I'm gonna be prepared for it. And I took that class on Thursday night. You gave me that contract, and Friday I had a job. And then the rest was history. I tell that story all the time because without knowing anything, like, just from the interactions and me being in your space, you gave me a shot. Like, you gave me a chance without knowing. I didn't even have a certification at that point. Like, you let me.
Don't tell so many people left.
Sorry. I haven't. I definitely certified y'all now.
Just kidding.
I'm qualified. I promise you I'm qualified now. But, like, you believed in me. Like, you saw my energy. You saw my values, and you're like, yeah, no, like, I think this girl is worth something, and I'll be grateful for that forever. Like, forever. Like, I told you like 5 minutes ago, like, you're my first goal boss. Like, you made me understand that I could do it.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and it wasn't, I mean, I had to be open to receiving that, but you made that easy. Like, you walked in, and honestly, the first thing I noticed was your shoulders, and I was like, all right, she ready to look the pot. Like, she was in her little joggers and her little, I don't know. Y'all know Christina, like, her high neck.
Yeah, I love a good mock neck with the shoulders. I love a good mock neck with the shoulders.
I was like, okay, she looks the part. You spoke well. You know, and it, like I said, didn't feel forced. And the fact that you made that step to even reach out, like, I respected that. It was actually at a time when I was at a point where I was like, I knew I needed to bring on some help.
Yeah.
And so I just felt like everything really aligned because I had the same. Well, not same. I was relatively new to the space, relatively new to Nassau. Only been there a couple years, and in those few years, I worked in my little circle. Thankfully, Ethan helped me with some connections when I moved, but I was like, I don't even know where to start. Where do I start looking for people to help me? And he was like, I was like, it's so hard to make friends and genuine friends when you're older. I mean, it's hard in general, but when you're older, it's even harder. And so literally we had that conversation that same week that you came and sat. We may have had that conversation maybe the weekend before you reached out. And I was like, okay. And then shortly after that, I met Whitney, maybe like a week later.
Girl,
and I was
Whitney.
like, I'm on a roll.
Whitney, where you at? Whitney is a special spirit.
I saw her this morning. She was on her episode of the podcast actually dropped today. So
she's a special spirit.
I had to have her on, but I just was like, I just felt like I put it out there that I wanted to meet genuine people that were able to add value to me, but I was also able to add value to.
Yeah, you're big on that. You're big on that. I think that's important. I got that from
Ethan too.
Yeah, no. I think that's an important. Like a lot of, I had this conversation this morning. Like a lot of people they get into this industry and see what they can do for themselves, and I think that
most spaces. I think
that it's important to like be self-sufficient and always look out for yourself. But there comes a time when what can I give? Like how can my expertise help someone else? And I think people fail to realize that builds you up as well. Like that allows you to grow in a way that's purposeful, not necessarily financially beneficial or like accolade beneficial, like getting accreditation under your notches. It actually adds purpose and value to the work that you're doing, and I think that that's so important. And I think that's why I bought into the Bowflex Barbie brand, because you're so big on adding value. Like you didn't know me from a can of paint. And it was just the value that you added. Like you taught me so much. Like you empowered me to go to Canada, and I'm a run. Like I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I got the tools. Like somebody gonna see this work that I'm doing, and I'm gonna get it done. And
it happened.
It happened. Big risk. Like you were the first person that like showed me that you can take risks and they pay off. Like you can work hard, and it like your work ethic, you and Ethan's work ethic. I don't know anybody to this day, like even in Canada, I don't know anybody that has a work ethic like you guys. Like you plan, you execute, and that's success. That's growth. That's scaling. That's making sure that you provide longevity for yourself. You stay relevant, you stay learning, but you stay evolving. And that's how you continue up in this industry. This is a very competitive industry. It's a very unstable industry. So you always want to put yourself in a position where you're able to grow, but you're able to put yourself in a space where you can maintain and you can build. And not everybody has the mindset to do that. And you and Ethan have the mindset for that. And I'm gonna learn from it. If you in a space and you're not learning from the people around you, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I mean, I think. Yeah, like when we met that you say Wednesday, I remember what day it was. I remember that well.
I was going through a traumatic time in my life. I remember that like it was yesterday.
But we clicked, and I always tell, like, to this day, I'm like, if I could duplicate you and put you in my pocket and take you with me, like.
But it's not hard. Like, I think like we just lotioning each other. It's not hard to work. Like, it's not hard to work with you. Like,
it's just each other.
Yeah, we just lotioning each other. It's not hard to work with you. Like, I never like to like.
Well, no, I don't think I'm hard to work with. I think just, I mean, we talk about work ethic. I think that is what set you apart from me as well. Like, it was you took the initiative to want to learn more about the space, right? That landed you meeting with me, and I decided, like, I want to work with you, right? And I think that's not unique, right? I mean, I'm not saying it's not unique, but that's the easy part.
Yeah.
Sitting and talking, speaking a good game, being ready and willing, but now actually working. And you showed up.
Yeah,
like,
where to work at.
I never had no issues with you, Christina. Like, I knew if Christina said I can be here this time, she can be here this time. Smiling, bright and early, 5 a.m. Good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
And like, I think when I say that, that's the part that I want to replicate. Like the not just the talking the good game, but I'm gonna show up and I'm gonna over deliver and all. Like, you exceeded my expectations of what I looked for with someone that I worked with, and so to you, I'm going to, I'm kissing the mic, okay? To you, I'm going to be forever grateful for that. And for showing me, like, you were my first person that I actually ever worked with that closely. I've been a one-woman show for a long time. Well, no, I worked with someone in Freeport for a while, but yeah, you were as closely as we worked, as far as like, I saw you just about every day. We talked about every day. Yeah. We were planning together, doing all these things together. You were the first person I worked that closely with. And I don't know, I tell people, I feel like you set the standard a bit too high for anyone to come after you. I mean, but that's all right. They're going to have to rise up.
You have to 10 toes down. If you do something, you do it 110%. That's just how I feel. If you can do something, do it to the best of your abilities, or don't do it at all. That's just how it is.
So, Christina, we can end the lotioning session.
Let's go.
Okay? Yeah, we can dive into the meat.
Because you're just like, no, you're great. No, you're great. No, you're amazing.
So talk me through, we know that you're now a gym owner, you're a fitness instructor, fitness enthusiast. Talk me through your start in fitness. When we met, you were already in the fitness space, but talk me through Christina now deciding she wants to get into the fitness space. And before even coming to Nassau and turning it into I want to work as a professional in the space. Tell me about your relationship.
My origin story.
Yeah.
My origin story.
Tell us origin story.
Like, picture it. It's 2012 and I'm in university. I'm shoveling like a latte for breakfast, a brioche cinnamon bun for a mid-morning snack, followed by another latte. I'm going to get burgers and fries for lunch. I'm following that up with pizza, and I'm going home to Bulk Barn to get some jelly beans and a 2-liter Dr. Pepper, and I'm going to order a pizza
day?
Every day.
Okay.
Like, I didn't know what a calorie was. Like, no idea. Like, none. I was just eating for it. Like, I was just eating. I don't know if I was sad. I don't even understand. I came from a home. So, like, even before that, I came from a home where my dad, to this day, like this morning, I want to take my dad out for breakfast. Like, I got a little money now. Let me take my daddy out for breakfast. Where you won't go. Like, get dressed up for your daughter. Let me take you somewhere. And I get this house, like, I don't want to eat from anywhere. My food better than everybody. I can come in. I could cook for you. Why we got to go anywhere for breakfast? And that's a household I grew up. So I never really had fast food growing up. Like, if we went on vacation, we used to go on vacation for 2 to 3 weeks. That was a time where I wilded. I got Doritos. I got soda. Like, in my house in Nassau, you get a Capri Sun. That's the most fantastic. Like, you want something fancy? You want something fancy? I can make you a little burger. I can make you, like, my dad. Anything I wanted, my dad would make. Right? There was never really connection to buying food out. So when I got to COB and then I went off to school, I wild out. Like, oh my God, like, it was delicious. Have you ever had Popeyes? Like, it was just divine. And I didn't realize that was negatively impacting my health, because I also didn't work out. Like, when I was athletically capable, but it was never nurtured. Yeah. So I had athletic capabilities. Like, I could run. Like, they would choose me to, like, run when I was in high school. Like, hey, Christina could do the 100-meter run. Like, that's fine. Like, she's all right. But it was nothing that was ever like, she's good at this. Like, we can actually, like, make something from this. It was like a 4th grade thing where someone wanted me for a run club and they mentioned like a 4:30 a.m. start time, and I gave some expletives, and my parents were like, no, she's good. She's all right. Because they didn't want to wake up at 4:30 either, right? Yeah. If she not wanted it, I'm not going to push it. And I'm now looking back like, that could have been a scholarship, you guys. But, like, here nor there, I think everything happens for a reason. And I went to a weekend concert. So fast forward through all of that. I went to a weekend concert, and I was with my friends, Brittany and Lindsay, and me. Brittany had a scale in her bathroom, and I like I was never really like weight focused, and that's not something that my parents ever, like, I was never body conscious, so I had none of those issues until adulthood. And I stepped on the scale and I was 174 pounds, and I was just like, where did this what, how, when, how, what, how? The last time I stepped on, I was 136 the last time I stepped on a scale when I was in high school. So, like, that big jump, especially not being aware of what's happening in that time, like, that just, like, scared me. And also, like, my mom's obese, my sister, like, I have a family history of poor relationships with food, or just not necessarily being the healthiest. And I could see myself following down that path. So I was like, nah, the buck stops here. And I have an obsessive personality. So if there's something that I say that I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into it 110%. It's a benefit for me, but it's also a crux for me in some instances, right? Because it gives me blinders at some points. But when it comes to something like when I'm determined to do something, it's very, very beneficial, because if I'm determined to do something,
you can do it.
I'm doing it.
Locked in.
Yeah. So I'm now like obsessed with this number, like that. Why, how, what? So my roommate at the time, her boyfriend like wrote out a basic program for me that I still have to, like, he literally held my hand, took me to the gym and was like, this is a lat pull down machine. This is how you do this. And this is a squat. This is a deadlift. And I did that same routine for about 3 months. I ate salad and egg whites for breakfast. I had chicken and tears for lunch.
Chicken and tears.
Yeah, chicken and tears for lunch. And like in 2 or 3 months, I had lost 20 pounds. And I was like, all right, bye, Jim. Deuces. Like, it was, I accomplished my goal. I did it. I'm here now. And I didn't realize, like, I didn't understand the whys behind what it is I was doing. I was just doing something that someone told me to do.
That number to go down too, yeah.
Yeah, I did something that someone told me to do, and the number went down, and that was it. I wasn't necessarily empowered. I didn't understand what it was that I was doing. So naturally, I gained the weight back. Like, I said goodbye to the gym, so that stopped. I was eating food that not necessarily bad tasting, but I want to have no chicken and tits. I already reached my goal weight. I want to have chicken with barbecue sauce. Like, I want to have French fries, and I want to have donuts, and I want to have jelly beans. Like, I want to go back to where I was before. Yeah. I didn't understand that there needed to be a balance. There needed to be some level of consistency to maintain what you work so hard to achieve. Yeah. And I ended up gaining more weight than I lost. And it became like, well, what the hell? Like, I just did all that work for nothing. Like, for nothing. Like, I'm back to not even square one. I'm back to square negative one.
I'm in a worse place.
I'm in a worse place than I started. And I was like, you know what? Like, and then it was also like a whole litany of like digestive issues, and I wasn't feeling like the best. I had acne, like my brain fog, and I went on vacation and I came back and I was being super lazy, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to the grocery store. Whatever in this house, I can eat. And that's going to be that. It was cold, and I'm not going outside. So I just didn't have meat in the house. And then that's when I realized that after a few days, I had no headaches. My brain fog was gone. Like, my face started clearing up a little bit. TMI, I actually started to poop. And I was just like, what? Like, what? I'm confused. Like, what has changed? Like, nothing. I haven't done anything differently in 4 days. Like, oh, I didn't eat any meat. And once again, my obsessive nature, well, I gotta eat no meat no more. So I guess I'm vegan now. I'm already lactose intolerant. So no meat, no dairy. Yeah, no meat, no dairy. So I just went 10 toes down in that, and I never looked back, and I felt great. And from there, when it came to my training, I decided that instead of me just doing things because someone told me to do something, I would find exercises that benefited my goals. Like, what is it that I actually want to do? Like, what am I looking to accomplish? I want a particular physique, and I want to maintain it. And this is exercises that are built for this. These are exercises that are built for this body. And I started understanding the body mechanics. I started understanding exercise selection. I started understanding the importance of nutrition. I understanding the importance of balanced diet and eating for your goals. And when I understood the balance between it, and then how that impacts your performance, and when your performance is top tier, how your body responds. Child, please, y'all see me? I'm kidding. No, I really fell in love with the processes and the whys, because I feel like the whys empower you to be so much more knowledgeable about what it is that you're doing, and you feel so much clarity with where it is that you'd want to go. And then after that, I was like, why doesn't everybody understand how great fitness is? Like, I feel like everybody needs to be fit. Like, why? Because for me personally, and I understand this perspective, the gym is like my therapy. The gym is like, if I'm feeling upset, I'll go lift. Or if I'm feeling anxious, I'll go lift. Like, I always gain a sense of security, a sense of centering when I'm training, because that's something that I do for me. I don't do it for the looks. I don't do it because I need to be in shape. I do it because it makes me feel like it naturally just makes me feel, I feel like my day is incomplete if I haven't done something that has some level of activity to it. And from there, I became so educated, because if you spend so much time in an environment, like, it'd be a fool's journey not to learn something from it. And because it became such a big part of my life, other people saw that it became a big part of my life. And they're like, oh my God, Christina, look, what are you doing? Like, what is it that has changed? I was like, mindset. You know, like I'm now, it's not a means to an end. It's now a lifestyle choice, right? It's not, I'm eating this because I want to accomplish X, Y, Z. I'm eating this because it makes me feel good. And I'm probably going to eat this for the rest of my life, right? I'm making choices for the long haul and not because I want a short-term. Yes, I have short-term goals, but I want to make sure that I'm creating healthy habits that last a lifetime. That's my mission statement, by the way. Tina Monet Wellness, that is my mission statement, creating healthy habits that last a lifetime, because I think that those are things like we always find ourselves trying to find the quickest way to our goals, which is great. Like, I would love to get to my goals tomorrow. I would love to have $1 million and be retired tomorrow, but I think that it doesn't make you appreciate the process. And you don't necessarily, I find that when things come to you quickly, sometimes you don't necessarily learn or appreciate the value in what it is that you have, right? So me taking the time and stepping back and like having that point where I gained more weight than I lost, and it forced me to kind of look at it from a different perspective and thinking about it as, how is this a lifestyle as opposed to, I just want to lose 20 pounds. Like, if you want to lose 20 pounds, we can lose 20 pounds. But how am I making sure that once that 20 pounds is gone, you keep it off for the long haul? And that's what like people are attracted to. They like, how are you like just like staying this way? It's the mindset. It's making small changes over a long period of time that lend to long-term goal shift, long-term sustainability, long-term. It's not a friction for me to do these things. I do these things because it's second nature. That's what you want. Like, you don't want to have a complete one. Like, there are instances where there are drastic measures that need to be taken because life has come at you fast and there needs to be a 180 for health. But for most of us, small, sustainable changes over time usually lends itself to success. And that's what I learned. And I wanted to be able to impart that on everybody as best as I can. Like, I'm a Jehovah's Witness fitness person. Like, I love sharing are you about to tell me you're Jehovah's Witness? No.
That was going a different direction in my head.
I preach the gospel and the wellness of fitness. I think that it's so important to move your body, even in a small capacity, because it improves your quality of life. Like, the people that move better, the people that move often are the people that live longer. Like, the longer you spend sitting, you can count your days. Like, factually, like, it's a fact. And I want to be able to make sure that people are aware of that and understand that. And how can I help you get from point A to point A1, A2 to get you to point B? Like, I want you to point Z, but I understand that you have to meet everyone where they're at, because someone met me where I was at. Right. So I want to be able to share that and be able to help change. Like, if one person says, Christina, I've worked out today because you inspired me, you good. I did my job. I feel so good because I instilled the importance of movement into someone else. And that is my purpose. That's my origin story. Like, from there, I've never looked back. When it came to me deciding that I wanted to be in fitness and working with you, it was just, no, I'm gonna do this. And when I had to pivot and stay in Canada, I'm also going to do this. I don't know how. I don't know where I'm going to go. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But someone gonna see this work. Figure it out. Yeah, we absolutely gonna figure it out. And I wholeheartedly believe that your passion and your drive and your knowledge and you just sticking to your own lane and what feels good to you will get you through. We had this conversation earlier, like comparing yourself or competing with, like, fitness is a very saturated industry. Like, there's a trainer born. Look, there was 5 of them. Five people decided now that they're trainers, right? So it's a matter of like finding what's important to you. There's enough clients. There's 8 billion people in the world. There's enough clientele.
The fitness industry is a $51 billion industry, and there's enough. That shows there's enough money for sure.
There's enough to go around.
There's enough clientele.
There's enough.
For
like
sure.
I just sat in I am who I am as a person. I have my own personality. Yes, the industry is saturated.
Who's for you is for you.
But
That's
my clients will be for my client. My clients will always be my clients.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not competing with anybody.
And you ain't for everybody.
I'm not for.
I realize that.
You know,
I'm not for everybody.
Very well that we're not for everybody, right? And it's also understanding that that's something that I'm still working through, because I fancy myself as a charismatic individual. So anytime someone like has friction with me or is not the most receiving to my demeanor, I'm just, I don't know, like but I'm learning now, especially as a business owner that has to make decisions that, girl, not everybody gonna like you, and you gotta deal with that. You have to understand that's a small price to pay for the bigger goal at hand.
Like I told you, a lot of times it has nothing to do with you, why they don't like you. It's usually something that you trigger in them, so that's a them problem.
And if I challenge you to be better, then that's that. That's just that. That's just that. That is just that.
All right, Christina. So I'd like to ask this question. I've asked it to another instructor I've had on the podcast previously. Do you feel like, and I guess you could speak to it from your experience in the fitness space here in Nassau as well as in Canada, but do you feel like as a woman in fitness and as a Black woman in fitness, oh Lord, Christina's bracing, that do you feel, or I feel like you're answering with your body language. You feel like you have possibly had some challenges, but talk me through, or if you feel like you've had some challenges, I want you to express those. If you don't, then that's fine. But talk me through, I guess, how your experience as a woman in fitness, specifically here in the Bahamas, right? Because we majority Black, how your experience as a woman in fitness in the Bahamas has been. Have you had any challenges there? And your experience as a Black woman, I guess, in Canada, where you're not the majority. Talk me through those challenges, if they exist.
Yeah. So here in Nassau, I think I don't want to call myself, it's hard because I don't want to call myself privileged, but I acknowledge that the body that I'm in gives me access to spaces because people see me and they validate me just off of appearance. Like, I could say nothing alone, like nothing. I could be a silent like mime and they'll be like, yeah, no, it's like, she's good, she's fine, just based off my appearance. I understand that. But in Canada, like in Nassau, it's a little different. I think that I was successful in Nassau just based off of my physique, my image. In Canada, my physique comes a dime a dozen. Like, you look on the street and there's 1,300 girls that look exactly like me. Some of them are genetically gifted. Some of them some of them are bought, but to the natural eye, like we all there is a big market for fitness in Toronto. Like, people take care of themselves. Like, a lot of people are very, very caring about how they look,
which is very different.
Which is very not that people don't care about how they look here, but it's not. It's definitely not the same. It's definitely not the same.
Same ratio.
It's also not the same cultural perspective of beauty. Right. So here, the perspective of beauty is, I like a thick little
soft cushion.
I like little, like, I'm considered lean.
Ethan Brandon say sticky bungie.
Yeah, they like some cushion for the pushing up here. Like, so there's not necessarily a lot that you would need to do to necessarily find yourself attractive to the opposite sex, or even like being able to look at yourself and like, yeah, this is good. Like, I go through the day and like, I get stares, I get people complimenting me. They love my shape here. So I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. That physique doesn't necessarily translate to acceptance in another space, especially in North America. Yeah. Their vision or their expectation of beauty is even thinner than I am. Like, I have the what you call athletics. Like, oh my God, I would love to look like you, but I don't want your arms. Like, I would love to look, but like just a little, like, first of all, you'll never look like me, just so you know. But I will also never look like you. Like, we're so different in our physiques, and I think a big problem is that people on social media, they see a physique and they're like, that's what I want to look like. So if I hire this person, that's just because she looks like that, that's exactly how I'm going to look when I train with her. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to have to be the bearer of bad news and be like, listen, sis,
we ain't gonna ever get that.
That's not what's going to happen.
And if we do, you ain't gonna be happy.
Yeah, you're not. It's going to be a path of suffering and sadness to get there, and it's probably not going to be sustainable. So how can we meet in the middle and get you to where you need to be? So for me, as a Black woman in Canada, I find that my physique is or my navigation through the fitness industry is predicated more so on my personality and my ability to communicate good programming.
Your knowledge,
my knowledge. Like, I have to rely more on being knowledgeable, an expert in my field in Canada.
Which I think it should be.
Than it is in Canada and in Nassau. So while I feel like I grew a lot and it gave me the tools I needed, so when I got to Canada, I was qualified. Yeah. Like, when I got to Canada, I had the idea, but I'd already been training. I got my certification. I had a background in media. I had a background in programming. I had a background in all of these things that lent itself for me to be able to present as someone that's in an intellectual in the fitness space. So I'm not only respected for my physique or the videos that I do, because a lot of people can work out. Like, some people are really, really great at training themselves, or you're great at training someone else, right? Because that's your job. Your job is to train someone else. Just because you look great and you know how to train yourself doesn't mean that you can train someone else, right? So understanding how to do that and understanding how to navigate different bodies, different hormones, different personality types, like, that is something that I learned here that gave me the leg up. So once I got into that competitive field, I didn't need to compete. Like, that was something that I just held for my space, and my knowledge was great, but I have a personality that speaks for itself. So my personality paired with my knowledge gives me my clients in Toronto. I love my physique. I love looking good, but I am someone that predicates my programming and my business on the fact that I am an intellect when it comes to the fitness space. I'm an intellect when it comes to training. I'm an intellect when it comes to deciding, like, what style matches your goal setting. And I think that that's more important, but I don't deny that me being in this space empowered me. I think that me being here and being validated by my physique also gave me a little bit of empowerment to feel like, yeah, girl, I got it going on. Like,
it gave you a bit of confidence.
It gave me a little bit of a confidence boost. And some people like to say, oh no, I don't like people to think that my body. No, like, tell me I look good. I work hard on my body. Like, I work hard for this, but I also do it so that I am able to work hard for you guys. Like, I'm able to be able to speak to exercise selection or challenges based off experience, because I'm not someone that's been fit my entire life. I'm someone that struggles just like you. Like, when it comes time to, like, that donut, like, should I not? I'm real. I still have those struggles. Like, I'm honest. Like, I think that a lot of it, like, we become so preachy. Like, this is what you should do to be fit. Girl, you know you fit. You had 3 donuts last night. You know it. But it's the fact that you have that balance that allows you to be able to make those decisions and be okay, right? So I want to empower you to be able to lift heavier. Like, even this morning I went to the gym and I saw this girl doing deadlifts at 15 pounds. I'm just like, Christina, don't do it. Hey, do you mind if I tell you, like, one thing? I feel like you can do that with 25 pounds. I promise you. Like, if you just add 10 pounds, it's a posterior chain movement. Like, your glutes and your hamstrings are so strong. Like, you can do deadlifts with more than 15 pounds. And she gone 25 pounds. And I was racking my weight. I was like, I told you. Even when I'm not coaching, I'm on vacation. I don't know this girl from a can of paint. I want to be able to empower you to know that you can do better. You can push yourself to be more.
You're stronger than you think.
And I'm really big, especially with women, to make sure that you know without a shadow of a doubt you're stronger than you think.
I love that.
Like, you're not lifting 5 pounds when you come to my class. I promise you.
We ain't got none.
We ain't got them. We ain't got them. They warm up weights. They weights that you use before we start the workout.
I love that. So, I mean, that's interesting. I think, and I totally get it, because it's funny because the coach that I asked the same question to had a similar experience, but in that she wasn't validated by her physique hair. So she's only trained hair, but she was like, you know, people didn't respect her. She had the knowledge, she had the certifications, she studied and she knew her stuff, but because she didn't have this super muscly, she was a tiny, you know, thin, well, not thin, but she was a tinier girl. Yeah, she had a leaner physique, tinier woman. Relatively new to the space. She was like, you know, people didn't respect her because she, no matter how much she knew, how much she studied, researched, they never gave her the opportunity to show that, because she, to the eye, didn't have all the, you know, didn't look like a trainer, right?
And to an extent, I understand that. I think that as a personal purview, I think that as a trainer, your responsibility is to lead by example. For me personally, I would not hire a trainer that was out of shape.
Me either. And so for context, she was not out of shape. She was in shape. She wasn't overweight. She wasn't underweight. She was healthy. She just wasn't. Think about it. You look at. I mean, we compete. So you look at someone, you know when they compete. Right? Yeah. So it was. I would say kind of to that, and I think maybe that's the extreme they were looking for. They met her in the gym space, and so maybe they expected her to be raw, extreme.
That's another.
But she wasn't out of shape. I wouldn't say she was.
There's different types of fit.
Yeah,
and I think that also that's an interesting concept, because I think that a big issue with the fitness industry now is that we glamorize or we hold to a high regard physiques that are unattainable. Even the people that hold those physiques have had them for short periods of time, right? So when you compete, like you're at your leanest, where are you now from show date?
20-ish pounds up.
Okay.
So yeah, like when I compete, I'm, I don't know, 20, sometimes 20, depending on how far you let me stay in off season. How unstructured my off season, between 20, 30,
how
right?
we gonna go from here?
And so, yeah, like I totally get what you're saying. Like from you're not going to be, I'm not looking like a hopping off stage 24/7, 12 months out of the year,
And people will see your 2 weeks out physique and be like,
that's what I want.
That's what I want. Honey, I'm suffering.
You don't want that life, though.
Like 2 weeks out from a show, I'm dreaming about donuts. I'm dreaming about, no, not
my
pasta.
brain.
My brain fog. Like, I'm tired. I'm angry. Like, it's an extreme sport. And they look at those physiques, and those are the ones that they want to try. That's their target. No.
Or they also don't see the years that it took to put on the muscle to get
there. I want to do that in like 6 months.
3 months, boo. 12 weeks.
What can I do by next month? Ma'am.
My birthday in 2 weeks.
Ma'am. What? What's the most outrageous request that you've gotten?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that many outrageous. Oh, I've gotten outrageous. But I've gotten, growing glutes in, I don't know, 8 weeks. Without the gym.
Here's a public service announcement. I just want to make this very, very clear. If you're on a glute growing journey, give yourself 4 years. Give yourself 4 years. I promise you, like, it's 4 years. Like 1 year, you'll gain like an inch and a half. But after 4 years, stay consistent. It takes time,
patience, food, patience, figuring out what works for you.
Yeah,
I think that's any journey. That's any journey. But I haven't got that many outrageous things. I would say the biggest thing is people come in and expect they're going to do a month, right? They commit to a month of training, or they're like, I want to do a month with you. Can I expect to see this X result? And I'm like, I'm always honest. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take me at least 2 to 3 months to figure out what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
And how your body's responding. This is the first 3 months are really our trial and error phase. You're going to see some progress.
Who are your most successful clients?
People that come in with that mindset, that are people that aren't necessarily training for aesthetics, that realize that this is a journey, this is a lifestyle. People that realize I want this for the long term versus I want this by my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my most successful ones. And yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, I've had a fair share of both, right? People that want to train for the specific thing, but then they end up in that same position that you mentioned when you started.
Learn from Tina. Like I think that is so important. Like that's why I think that experience is so important, because I'm able to like pull from my experiences, not just from a book that I read from or from a YouTube video that I watched.
But you've been there.
I've been through this. Like I've been in a spot where I was uncomfortable in my body. Like I've looked at myself and been unhappy with what I saw. I didn't have muscle. I didn't have like a cardiovascular capability. I couldn't squat. Like I remember my first squat and someone came over to me and was like, you got a butt wink. What even is that? Like, like, why are you telling me this? Like, I know what it is now. Like, yeah, like I don't even know. But it was the consistency for me. It was the fortitude that this is not for just today or tomorrow, or for me to lose 15, 20 pounds from now on. I understand that me moving my body allows me to enjoy life for a longer period of time at a better quality.
And feel good doing it.
Feel good. There's so many things that like you could walk out and be hit by a car tomorrow. Like those things, like absolutely, you can't control, right? But things like type 2 diabetes, right? Hypertension,
Cancer,
right? Like cancer is a little sticky,
I mean,
a little
it's
sticky.
also linked to lifestyle,
linked to lifestyle or
likelihood.
right? Yeah. So like as best you can, wouldn't you want to put yourself in a position to be as healthy as you can for as long as you can? I want to be able to run after my grandkids. I want to be able to go for walks, or I want to be able to run and sprint when I'm saying I want to be able to run and sprint when I'm 60. I want to be able to be like I
don't
saw
want to run and sprint now, so
I like it. I like the cardio. I saw one of my friends' moms in the gym today, and I'm just like, I aspire. Like it was 8:00 in the morning, and she had already gotten her gym, and she is just as fit as she want to be. Like that's like that. Like she understands like it's a lifestyle. Like right. So that's what I want. I want you to understand that this is a lifestyle. Like where you are, what you've got going on, like there's nothing more important than taking care of yourself. Your body will stop you in its tracks if you don't take care of yourself.
Yeah. It's the only place you got to live.
Like
you got
absolutely stop you. And I had a client that had a heart attack, and if she hadn't gotten body fat off of her within 6 to 8 weeks, another one was going to happen. Like it's why did it get to that point?
Why did you have to wait that long? Yeah.
Right? Why? Like, what can I do to help you beforehand before it becomes reactive? Right? Like, I want to catch you when it's preventative.
Yeah. When it's not even in the atmosphere yet.
I'll help everybody, but like I want everyone to understand that movement is important. Like you're not moving out of sufferance. Like you're doing your body a total service by actually getting up and moving.
Yeah, it's a characteristic of all living things. Move.
Like sedentary things. Think about that car that's been sitting in your yard for 6, 8. What it looking like? The grass unneeded. Yeah, like it can't start something like it's inefficient. It doesn't function. Like if you don't move your body, prepare to have a less quality of life. I'm so sorry. It just is what it is. It's a fact.
Very true.
It's a fact. It's what it is. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that everybody got an opportunity to move and have fun while they're doing it.
Yeah, enjoy it. Like I said, I think I heard a quote the other day, and you mentioned like, getting from point A to point A1 to B is the first step, but we're trying to get you to Z. But falling in love with that process of A to A1 to A2 to all the way through to Z is really where the beauty is, right? And we see it in all different things and all different spaces. Like they tell you fall in love with the process. Yeah. If you're an entrepreneur, you look at the fitness space, any big goal, right, you have, or any type of goal you have, you fall in love with that process, and the results aren't even the icing on the cake anymore. It's I've learned that this thing is bigger than the result, but it's really what have I learned along the way? What have I gained along the way?
What have I gained? Or like how have I evolved? Like what benefit have I got from doing this over long haul? Like my cardiovascular is insane. I feel so strong when I lift. Like I can run up a flight of stairs and not be gassed. Like if there's a train coming and it's listen, I'm talking about like real life situations. Like if I have a train to catch, like I can run and get it and not be like trying to get to it. Like these are things that happen. Like if I have to reach up for something, I'm not.
Me and Ethan had a real life experience with that. We almost missed our flight to Vegas last year, and we were running through the airport like full force. Mind you, I was panting. I think that my anxiety was just like, you're not gonna make this flight. So I was panting, but I was still moving, and that's the fastest I ever seen my husband run. Because on the road when we run it, I'd be leaving him, and he had me for chalks. Okay?
That's right. Like, and then when you do what you do, it's just like #fitness.
Yeah, we got on the plane. We were literally the last people. The gate was about to close, and we made it. And I was just like, I think I was just so nervous, and I had already accepted fate. Like we ain't gonna make it.
That's what I'm saying. Now, had you been someone that wasn't lifting, you was missing that flight,
sweetheart.
I was
missing that for sure.
Sweetheart, you was missing that flight. So that's what I mean. Like I want to empower you to be able to be excited about the list that you're doing. Be excited about the changes that are happening that makes you stronger. And I also think that fitness allows you, it bleeds into other portions of your life.
Yeah, like discipline.
Discipline, being able to sit with things, how to being able to accept and pivot when necessary, patience when necessary, reservation and being someone that's able to withstand when necessary, being intentional when necessary, being locked in, being structured. Like I've learned so much from the fitness space that's bled in to other portions of my life that has caused me to grow for the better. Yeah, I'm obsessed with fitness. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm obsessed.
All right, Christina. So, like I do with all my guests, we got a fun game of this or that.
Bring it on.
And this is what I got for you today. I like these are basic questions and nothing to, For recovery, would you prefer to do a yoga class or a Pilates class? Well, Pilates really is a workout too, so.
Man, okay. I prefer to do Pilates. And here's the thing. I don't necessarily enjoy yoga because I'm not someone.
I can tell, Whitney. I just joking.
Whitney, I love you, but I can't I can stretch, but I can't center. Like I find other ways to center myself. Like
have you done vinyasa?
Yes.
The faster?
Yeah, I've done vinyasa, I've done hot yoga, I've done like the meditation portion of it. I don't know. I may have it too overactive.
Maybe that's why you need to do it. That's why you do yoga, to find stillness. And I know I'm the same. I did yoga this morning with her, and I was thinking about all the stuff I had to do today.
Yeah, like I can't. I don't know.
Like,
I just
5
can't.
more breaths. I'm like, what am I gonna buy for next?
Yeah, I gotta answer that email. Like, don't forget.
Yeah, but I think the more you do it, it's like anything. The more you
but
do it.
I also see the thing is that I don't necessarily love. I like Pilates for foundations. Like I think Pilates is a great space for you to work on stability and foundations. Man, that's a hard question. I don't like neither of them things.
All right,
I don't like none of them.
Okay. All right. Would you rather run outdoors or run on a treadmill?
Ooh, I'd rather run outdoors. I'd rather run outdoors.
I think I feel like I run longer outdoors, but more consistently on.
Well,
a treadmill.
I mean, what's the goal? Like, am I running for leisure?
We ain't going that deep.
If I'm in prep, then of course it's the treadmill
because it's convenient.
But like if I'm running for like leisure and I'm running as a
leisure, I'm running because I'm being chased, because I have to.
Facts. That's
There's
actually
no
facts.
leisure running.
There was that one time during COVID that I started running because I was losing my mind inside. But
that was again by force.
Yeah, true. But if I'm gonna run, I'm gonna run outside. I like outside. Like if I'm gonna run, I'm running outside.
I'm gonna run on a treadmill. If I'm going to run, it's gonna be on a treadmill for like.
Because I'm not gonna run I'll sprint on a treadmill. Like I'm not gonna spend 30 minutes jogging on a treadmill. I'll do intervals on a treadmill.
All right, I know this answer. CrossFit or bodybuilding?
Bodybuilding. Girl. I don't like injuries. JK. CrossFit is.
All right. Would you rather do, I feel like I know this too, group fitness class or solo workout?
Oh, solo workout.
Yeah, same. Would you rather do HIIT cardio or steady state cardio?
Ooh. It depends on the mood that I'm in. Sometimes I'm feeling like kill me now, and then sometimes I'm feeling like I just want to get it done.
You're overcomplicating all these
answers. I'm sorry, you asked like my honest opinion. Okay, HIIT. I'll do HIIT. Okay. Kill me now. Kill me now. Yeah, HIIT.
Steady state. If I had to do one for the rest of my life, it'd be steady state.
Ooh.
Now you're rethinking your
answer.
Yeah. No, you already answer. HIIT.
Okay, fine.
All right. Would you rather cables and machines or free weights? These hottie. Why y'all always let these everybody gets so stressed when it comes to this or that.
I feel like there's benefits to both.
There are, but
like, okay, I'm gonna do cables. The bodybuilder in me is gonna go for cables.
I'm machines too, yeah. All right. I know. I think we can skip that one. I wouldn't say home or gym workout. We know that.
Girl.
All right. I think I know this too. Cycling or swimming?
Girl, I'm a cycle. I'm a spinner. I'm thinking about I'm literally talking to my spin instructor right now. She missed me last night. I'm a spinner. I love spinning.
Would you rather do active recovery or take a complete rest day?
Active recovery.
It depends for me. I find when I'm in prep, I'm like, I feel like I should be doing something.
I think that I'm thinking about it from the perspective of prep. Like if I'm like every day right now, like if I had a complete day off, I'm comatose in my bed. Like if I had like a full day, because even if I had a full day, there's
You do
something that I
something.
need to do something on that day. I think, I still stand with active recovery.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do active recovery. Like I'll go for a walk or something. I'm also like kind of high strung and anxious. So I think that I'll feel better from taking a walk. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. All right, we're gonna ask prep or off season. I made that one
These
up. That wasn't on the
questions,
question,
so,
but
like,
I added it.
Okay, so I love a good muscular physique, but I also love feeling strong off season. Yeah, off season.
Yeah, I like off season more. I think prep is. I mean, just like there's seasons, right? You
Yeah,
go through each one.
yeah.
I enjoy my life a lot more.
Yeah, I'm a lot
more
happier,
fun to be around.
more fun.
More
Like,
well-rounded.
yeah, I think that I'm a general nicer person.
Me too.
When I'm in off season, I'm stronger. I lift heavier. I'm a lot more productive. I'm a lot more selfish and closed off during prep. Not because no.
Because you kind of have to be.
You have to be like when I have goal sets, like for when I'm in prep, like everything needs to be structured, because when I have an hour and a half of cardio, an hour and a half of training, 10 clients to get through, like I need those things to be bam, 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 bam. I need as little friction as possible. Yeah. And it makes for
shutting out.
Yeah, it makes for a little less of a social life.
For sure.
A little less of, and even to the point where like just keeping up with friends is a chore. Because when I'm like, I woke up at 4 a.m. this morning. I did cardio before anything else. I had my breakfast. I trained 4 clients. I worked out. I came home. I did some programming. I called a few clients. I worked on a couple of things. I go back for my evening clients. I also have to go back and do my evening cardio. And all of this is happening on a caloric deficit.
Yeah.
Right?
You ain't happy.
I'm not the happiest. I'm not the happiest person, and I'm tired. So
and I want to eat donuts and I can't.
And I want to eat donuts. And
I can't even soothe my tiredness.
I can't even just like placate myself with a little something. Like if I want something, I need to drink some dandelion tea and go to my bed. Like that. That's my like sweet spot when off season. But I love the
structure of prep.
The structure of prep.
I like training for something.
I love the idea of just going hard and grinding and like your physique just being total representation of the hard work that you just put in.
And the
you can't buy that. Yeah, like I that's the reason why I love muscle. You can't buy that. You can't build that. You can't borrow that. I mean,
nowadays
there's a little some when it comes to the but like for the most genuine, for the genuine bodybuilder, for my physique, like I love it so much because I know the work that it took to get there, and I'm so proud of the fact that I did that. Yeah. I'm not hiding that anymore. People are like, oh my God, you look so good. And I was like, yes, I do. I worked hard for this. I did that. And I'm going to continue to look at this forever. I'm going to look good forever because this is a lifestyle. But I think that it's still important to be proud and love the body that you're in.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for context, because we didn't really talk about it in the intro, Christina is also a bodybuilder, so she competes in the bikini division, and I compete in the figure division. When did you start competing? 2020?
2020, yeah.
2021 was your first show.
2020, that Christmas. When did you come? 2021?
I think that was 2021.
No, 2021.
Remember, everything was shut down. So you started prep in 2020.
Yeah, I was supposed to do that show in 2019 when I started working with with Isti, and then
LD.
I
was like, who is this?
No, LD is the lady that connected me with Isti. Okay. Yeah, Isti is the trainer. His name is Istvan Kokso. And he actually helped me. So fun fact, he actually helped me with my last prep. So all of the preps I did by myself, and the second prep, the last week, my peak week, I was giving like just a heads up, like I'm getting during peak week. Yeah, I'm so excited. And he was giving me like constructive criticism about like my posing and just general, like good luck, everything. And I was like, haha, you don't do peak week prep, babe. And he was like, yeah, no problem. I'll train you during peak week. And I was like, well, how much will it be? And he's like, I'll just do it. What do you mean you just do it? What do you mean? So like, yeah, for that entire week, like he gave me my meal acumen, like all of the posing that I had to do. He was
yeah.
like, cancel the posing sessions, because at that point I was doing a posing session with a posing coach in another city, so it was costing me $150 a session for posing, and he was like, girl,
save that money.
yeah, like you can get me in a call and I'll do that. Like, so for that instance, and that's why I'm 100% getting a coach for my next, like I felt so relaxed, like bar everything that else happened, like I felt so relaxed, I felt confident in my physique, and I had a second pair of eyes validating what I already saw and what I already knew. So like that was really cool. I think that the hard work that you get from bodybuilding and being able to just say that this is the work that I've done, I've decided that nothing else matters, and this is what I'm I respect every girl that shows up on that stage that day, like every single
like, and I think like you said, it also spills over into other elements. Like I've learned that I can laser and tunnel vision focus for 4 months at it, like 4 months out of 12 months out of the year. I'm
laser focus.
This is the goal. And so I translate that into, all right, I have this big launch I want to do, or this big project I want to unveil. Like I know how to buckle down.
Yeah, you know what that energy feels like to translate that to another vision. Yeah.
So I love that element too. And like you said, I think there's a special type of person that can be a bodybuilder. Like it's not for everybody.
It's definitely not for everybody.
Everyone's like, well, how much do you get paid? And
it's a labor of love.
I'm like, even if you get paid, it don't
matter. Like people, you could get paid. You could get paid millions and millions of dollars. I think that the hard work still speaks for itself.
Gotta love it.
You gotta love it.
So, I think that's the foundation of it. You have to love it, and you have to be a little crazy. I tell people, like, you got to be a little crazy and a little obsessive. Like that's just the nature.
I tell people all the time I'm a little crazy.
That's the nature of the person that decides to do that, not just one time.
It takes a special individual to decide that, I'm going to lose all this body fat so you could see my muscle.
And then I can put it back on.
And then I'm going to build some more muscle and then lose it again so you can see how I've evolved. Like we're literally artists. We're we're going to the drawing board, our judges, and being like, this is my physique. And they're like, okay, so a little more shoulders, a little higher glutes, maybe a little bit more of a tighter presentation. I go back, I add a little bit more body fat. Yeah, and you're like, girl.
That's why you also have to be crazy, because you're standing, you're literally putting yourself on display for very subjective. I mean, even though you have criteria, but that looks different on different bodies.
It's subjective,
and then you get picked apart. And you choose that.
You are voluntarily like, I'm going to spread eagle and show my backside to everybody, and then you're going to tell me that this is it.
This is not enough.
And then you're going to be like, yeah, girl,
but
no.
I'm still going back.
I'm going to go back and do it again. I'm going to do it again and again. It becomes addictive. I think that if you had a mind for it, you should always try at least once. Once to say that, you know what, I did it and it's not for me. Yeah. And then that one time you may do it and you may get the bug bit, and it's like, I'm going to do it. Like when I stepped off that stage the first time, I knew knew for a fact.
But
I
also think that's
back.
your competitive nature too.
Yeah. I'm definitely. I actually don't compete in things because I'm super competitive.
Yeah, I think that's your competitive.
Yeah, like I'm a salty loser. So I choose when and when I don't compete, because I think that like I get too serious.
Too invested.
Too invested. So sometimes I just don't compete.
All right, Christina. So before we close out, I want you to look into your camera. We got 2 things for you. I want you to look into the camera and tell one piece of advice. If you can give one piece of advice to our watchers. I mean, these are going to be primarily women, I believe, but anyone watching, anyone that happens to stumble upon this episode and they've watched it up until now, one piece of advice that you'd want to leave? Could be about anything.
Start today. If you have an idea, a vision, it doesn't even have to be fitness related. Start today. Something small. What's one thing that you can do to put you one step closer to your goal? I think that for the most part, we separate ourselves from our goals and we think about them as something that'll happen in the future one of these days. What are you doing today that gets you closer to your goal? Like what are you, because for most of us, we're getting up and we're going to work for somebody else. Like for the majority of humans, we get up and we go to work for someone else's profit, for someone else's bottom line. What is it that you're doing today that works for you? What is it today that 10 years, 15 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, I'm so grateful that I started that today, right? What small thing that you can do today that puts you in a better position to receive your goal tomorrow. I think that goal setting and accomplishing things is a combination of working for it and putting yourself in the perfect environment to receive the goals that you're putting yourself in. Like for me, I wanted to be in the fitness space. How would it be if I'm saying like one day I'm going to be a trainer? I've never gone to a gym. Right.
So never networked.
I've never networked. I've never reached out to a trainer. Like, what is one small thing? Like, we overlook the small things that build up to the bigger accomplishment. There's a phrase that says we underestimate what we can do in a year and we overestimate what we can do in a month.
Or a day.
Like we have all these grandiose ideas. Like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. A lot of success starts with small steps. Like, it's a sacrifice that says that no matter what, I'm going to continue, but it's the small steps. Like every day, what is it that I'm doing that puts me one step closer to this goal that I have? What is it that I'm doing that puts me one step closer to my purpose? Right? Because for a lot of us, the jobs that we're in, they pay the bills. Right? They're not necessarily fulfilling us in some deep-seated level. So we're at our jobs and we're unhappy. For a lot of people, while they're at home and they were working, they found so much more fulfillment because they were able to work in tandem with their business, what pays the bills, and something that they liked. A lot of people found that maybe they like cooking, or maybe they liked sewing, or maybe they like creating something that started a side hustle or started a side business. So it gives them the opportunity to say that I'm more than just the bills that pay me. So what is it that you really want to do? If it's something that you really like, think deeply. There's always something that you want to do, you feel connected to. What's one small step that you can do today that puts you, even if it's registering for a free class or going to a YouTube page and watching something for 15 minutes that gives you a better insight to the field or the vernacular or something that you want yourself to be a part of. Something small today that makes a bigger change for tomorrow. I think that's my advice.
I love that.
Yeah. That's me. That's my advice.
Last thing, look back in the camera and tell them where they can connect with you, where they can find you outside, well, also in Canada too, but on social media. How can people connect with you? I was going to say, don't go to Canada looking for Christina.
Yeah, please don't.
But go to Canada looking for Christina.
You can find me professionally at unchainedathletics.ca. Our Instagram handle is unchainedathletics. And then personally, my personal brand is Tina Monet. You could find me there doing my thing. I really believe in our brand. Unchained Athletics is really big on the community. We're really big on an inclusive space that makes you feel connected to the movement. And we meet you where you're at, making sure that you're never short-sighted on your goals. And I am a big fan of Unchained Athletics. Check us out in Toronto. Tina Monet, Unchained Athletics. That is me.
Awesome.
That's us.
Thank you so much, Christina. It has been a pleasure catching up with you.
I tell you, I ain't short on words.
On the I feel I knew that. Catching up with you off the podcast and on it. Always a pleasure.
Always.
So good to see you.
Always.
Touch me again.
Don't cause me crying, camera.
It's so good to see you. I have missed you so much.
It's always a vibe, man. Like it's I miss working with you. Like I actually do. Like it's never, for the entire time I was here, it almost felt surreal. I never felt like I was working. Like I never felt like this day I don't feel like I'm working. But that's neither here. That's not until it's time for me to like get on phone with WSIB and like talk about employee.
What you love. Yeah.
But for the most part, like I've always loved what fitness did for me, and you reinforced that, and I'm forever grateful. Like I'm forever team Bowflex Barbie. Like when we had that call, and I was like, yeah, like. Here's a Bowflex Barbie teaser. Like I wear your stuff weekly. I think that you instilled in me so many values that empowered me to go off to Toronto and do my thing, and I will speak the greatness and the amazingness of your brand full way of I'm Unchained Athletics, but I'm also Bowflex Barbie. Like period forever. But
like I think all I did was gave you
opportunity. Don't try to change yourself.
You ran. You had it.
Like I knew what I wanted to do, but it's also important to surround yourself with people that believe in you, that see the vision, and also know more than you. I think that a lot of ego in this industry stalls you from growing. I see it all the time. Like it's such a competitive field where you think that someone else's success somehow diminishes yours.
Yeah, you don't gotta Somebody's light shining brightly doesn't mean
no. You know what someone's
yeah.
light shining brightly means? If I stand next to them, I'm gonna shine bright too.
But you know what? The analogy to candlestick. You could take a candle and light another one.
Hi, hello. How are you?
Shine less bright.
How are
just
you?
both shining.
It's about working to. I always feel so strongly connecting with strong women, strong, and now that I'm a business owner, connecting with business owners, strong women business owners, strong Black business women owners that give me insight as to how to network through this community. But also, those are my peers. Yeah. Those are people that I want to grow with. Those are people that I want to learn from. That's my community. Yeah. That's what I like. Who am I to be like? Yeah, no, like I'm competing against that. It's not me and her. It's me and her. It's us. Yeah. It's us. So it's us. It's us. That's how we gonna end this.
We gonna toast it.
We gonna toast.
Thank you so much, Christina. And thank you all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. It definitely felt like catching up with a friend because it was. So y'all was just listening to our conversation up until Christina was talking to y'all in the camera.
Yeah, I forgot the cameras.
But I mean, that's what we want. That's a podcast. Right? So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you again, Christina, for coming through.
Always.
I gotta now look how Christina can maybe pull up on Unchained Athletics.
You got
in Canada.
Absolutely. You got to. You have to. You absolutely have to.
I gotta come in and get warm.
No, but you have to teach a class. Like you have to. Like actually,
next time you come back, I can put you on class duty too.
I mean, well, duh.
Christina says she's coming back in a couple of months, so I already got plans for her.
I'm coming to get ready. I'm gonna teach a class. I'm gonna make sure you guys understand what Unchained Athletics does in Nassau. No. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have some fun. Yeah.
So thank you, Christina. Thank you guys for tuning in. And until next time, that's it. Bye.
Bye.